What is happening there, J Gaming Dude here, and I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on the death of physical media? Because you'll either fall in one of two camps, which I'm just going to explain in an incredibly simplified manner. Either, yay, discs are dying and digital is the future, or, oh no, physical media, I like my physical media. Now, if you do fall into the I like physical media category, then you're probably more than aware that it slowly is dying day by day as stores stock less physical discs and store more digital purchase cards and things like that. So that is definitely something that is happening at the moment, whether you like it or not. However, with Alan Wake 2 being digital only, that kind of felt a bit strange, given that Alan Wake did have a physical release with its remaster. Hellblade 2 being digital only as well. Again, these two games being digital only is very worrying, unfortunately, because as much as we like to own our physical media, there have been way too many examples of how digital distribution has, well, it's been convenient, still has a long way to go for the most part. For example, let's bring up, say, PT, for example. Make no mistake that, PT was a great free download. It was incredibly fun to play through. It was delisted not long after it was released, even though it was free. It was removed from the PlayStation Store. And even though it was removed from the store, normally you can still re-download games that you've downloaded. But this one was removed from the servers completely, to the point where even if you did download it in the past and you deleted it, you could no longer download it moving forward. And that really sucks. And then to even stamp on its legacy even further, it was playable on PS5 at launch. However, I think it was a system update that released for the PS5 that made PT unplayable again. It was either that or an update to to PT. So that is like a history of quite possibly one of the best horror games, albeit in demo form, just gone completely. And the game will never ever surface as well, which is even more unfortunate than anything else. That's one such example. And I guess with newer games not coming out with physical media, that's a worrying trend, because lately, myself personally, I've been buying a lot more games physically than digitally, and that's largely due to what's been happening with the rights to, say, for example, the Discovery TV shows. So people who bought movies and TV shows that fall under Discovery did in fact get an email saying you will no longer be able to access this media that you have purchased. So even if you buy it, you cannot, use it anymore. And so it then comes into this whole idea of what this whole means for us, because I've been buying a lot more physical media because of things like that. And in fact, I think Baldur's Gate 3 did very much what I would say is a baller move. Originally, the game released digital only, and I think not long after announced a physical release, which has some of the newest, I think up to some of the newer patches. So I definitely respect Larian for just being able to do something as incredible as that. Being able to release a physical copy of a game that you thought would be digital only. It seems that they do respect their customers a lot more than a lot of other companies would, especially when it seems surprising that Xbox is the one that's promoting the digital only future more and more, specifically with stuff like Game Pass, because Game Pass is another thing that seems to be sort of poisoning the well on digital. And you might be like, why would that be the case? You're paying monthly, you're paying a subscription. When the subscription is off, you no longer can access the games. But it does a similar thing to Netflix, whereby some games are accessible during a period of time, but then after that time is up, games do get removed without warning. Yes, there might be some Xbox Wire article at some point to say, okay, these games are being removed on this date. It just sucks that it can't remain forever. Whereas if you have had PlayStation Plus since like the early years of the PS3, and you redeemed every PS Plus game, you would have a massive bloody library there as well. Again, I'm just giving examples, but the thing is that those games are accessible to you as long as you have Plus. You lose your Plus, you lose access to those games, yes, but then when you regain Plus at its lowest level, you will have access to those, the instant game collection that you were getting. That's what it was previously called, and I'm not talking about the PlayStation Plus extra or premium tiers. I'm talking about just the default tier, that the lowest possible tier. What was it called? Essential? Yeah. But that's of course if you've had that PlayStation Plus for a long time. But yeah, so at the end of the day, like, you can sit down and buy a lot of digital games, but the thing is that if you did anything sort of suspicious on that company, like say on PlayStation, for example, on PSN, if you were to do something that was ban worthy and your account gets banned, guess what? You've lost access to every single game that you had, digitally speaking. Any physical copy games you still have with you. Just a little something to think about. And also the fact that if you do get banned, you will not get compensated whatsoever. In fact, the company owes you nothing as far as it's concerned, with trying to keep its checks and balances up. So there's a lot to think about with digital distribution and digital media, and there's still so many problems abound at the moment. Like, not every place has good enough internet to be able to support a digital only future. If only, internet is as widely universal as some of us currently have it in, first world countries. Yeah, it's just really concerning at the end of the day. I'm a fan of physical media. I still buy physical discs, especially for like my PS3, PS4, PS5 games, PS2 games sometimes. I still have all of my PS1 games. I've had those games for almost 20 years now, and I could like pop them into my PS3 and play, like, say, I don't know, Spyro 2, Tarzan, which is an okay to not very good game, but it was still entertaining. I mean, Mickey's Wild Adventures, that was a nice one as well. Very difficult game though, that one. The Disney Studio Mulan. I could just keep naming off like physical copies that I have. Crash 3, I think I had. Yeah, I had Crash 3 as well. Gran Turismo 2. Anyway, that's besides the point. I don't know. It's just having physical media is just really nice, because again, I've had a lot of my physical media my entire life, and it's never gone bad. It hasn't been scratched so badly that it's become unusable. It hasn't gathered too much dust that it becomes unplayable. All of the discs that I have throughout like the last 25 years of me, 25 to 28 years of playing video games, I don't know how long it's been. Even now, I still have physical copy games that all still work. I don't even trade in any of my games. So I do want to ask you guys about your opinions on physical copy games, media, and where everything is kind of going to go from here. Because while Hellblade 2 and Alan Wake 2 being digital only is kind of worrying, physical games still have their merits. It's just that I think we're following into a bit of a decline that the movie industry and the music industry have already been through, because I don't think that subscriptions are the only way to go moving forward into the future. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 200 subs by the end of 2024, so that would certainly be much appreciated. But by you subscribing, the videos go out to more people, and I do want to get a lot more sort of opinions around this sort of thing. Again, the more people share their opinions, the more conversation happens in the comments. And honestly, I've had a couple of videos that have been doing pretty good, pretty well actually, at 200 views, and having 7 or 8 comments from different people, and it's like genuinely like there's an actual conversation happening, and that's actually really exciting. I'm not even kidding. Like, I did not believe I could actually make such a conversation happen in the comments by uploading a video onto YouTube. So if you can add to that, that would certainly be much appreciated. But with all of that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.